Most horror games these days rely a lot on jump scares, especially in the indie scene, whether it's built up to, which can be great. Or just constantly put in your face, kind of coming off lazy.
Oh shit! What the fuck, man? God!
What if though a game would build up to the tension, but never let you go? Never give you a climax, always keeping you feeling uncomfortable with no sight of being able to relax. That's Anatomy. Anatomy is a short indie game and was developed by a user by the name Kitty Horror Show. She is on the website itch.io. The link will be in the description. She has developed multiple games, most free on the website. Be sure to support if you can though by donating. Gotta help out the indie scene. Anatomy has a low cost to get and you can donate extra if you want and can. The game can be downloaded for multiple different PC types and doesn't take a high-end PC to run. I just ran the game on a standard laptop and it worked really well. Let's get into the game. The game has pretty simple controls. Move around with the standard keys and you can crouch and jump, which I'm not too sure what the crouching and the jumping is for, since I didn't use those movements. Plus you click the mouse to interact with items. The premise of the game is also simple. Collect tapes and place them into a cassette player. Text will tell you where the next tape is and you'll go off and find that area. You will repeat that process until the end. To get the whole experience though, you will need to play through 4 times. Each play isn't long at all. To get the whole experience will take about an hour. So it's a pretty short punch of horror within this game. After that you'll get the full picture. With each play new things will take place and things will slowly get more weird and uncomfortable. I will be going through the whole game giving my experience and thoughts. If you haven't played the game and are interested to play it, then I'd say to go experience the game for yourself to get the most out of it. Full spoilers ahead. Once you boot up the game, you are straight away put into play. It's pretty dark in the house with only a somewhat eye adjustment to the dark. No flashlight, making you lean into the screen. But it definitely adds to the tension with not being able to see ahead of you. You find a tape on the table on your first playthrough. Chuck it into the cassette player and you'll get dialogue.
In the psychology of the modern civilized human being, it is difficult to overstate the significance of the house. Since as early as the Neolithic era, humankind has defined itself by its buildings. Buildings for worship, buildings for socializing, buildings for protection, even buildings for the commemoration of the dead. But of all the structures that mankind has invented for itself, there is little doubt that the house is that which it relies upon most completely for its continued survival.
The premise of the tapes is they will express ideas on what the meanings behind a house can be. Very interesting. You'll continue to get tapes and play them, finding more on what these ideas could be. Basically on how a house can be representative of a human body. Definitely an interesting premise.
Why do human beings of our modern age foster this tremendous sympathy toward their homes? There are many reasons, of course, but perhaps it is due in some small part to seeing them as a reflection of ourselves.
The game isn't really scary in the traditional sense. You don't have a monster stalking you, nothing jumps out at you, you can't die while in play. What the game does is take what we feel comfortable in, a home, and turn that into a frightening thing. This game made me feel uncomfortable in my own home while I was playing. It feels like the game has a kind of fourth wall to it because of that. One of the tapes, for example, is saying how when we feel most vulnerable in our house is the bedroom when we are asleep. You spend hours of your life asleep in your room, not knowing what is happening outside of that. Not knowing even if someone is staring at you through the night.
It is the bedroom, the waking mind, that place of dreams. It is actually the most frightening of all.
Chills. The guy on the tapes does a great job making you feel really paranoid, making you fear the unknown. Another example. A tape would say how the basement is common for young kids to be scared of, with kids imagining monsters down there. Then you were told to get a tape down there.
It is a place we spend our childhoods filling with monsters that will lay for years in patient silence. It is a place that, barring some specific errand, we seldom ever want to go.
That is great horror, because now you expect something to happen to you. On your way to the basement, you feel tense, ready for something to happen. You'll go down, look in the dark for the tape, grab it, and leave. That whole time though, I really felt tense and uneasy. No jump scares, no common tricks, just making you fear the unknown. It's been a while since I've felt this tense with nothing really happening. The game does an amazing job of making you think something will happen, but then you continue to feel tense waiting for something to happen. Once you play again after the first time, things really start to change. On the first play there is complete silence. Once you start again, you will notice a loud fuzzy noise, and the tapes keep messing up with sound this time. Really effective moving up the tension after feeling like you know what to expect after the first playthrough. This will continue to happen each time you finish a playthrough and go back into the game. Things will change and you will reset to repeat getting more tapes. Repeating the whole process, but with differences in the environment and tone with tapes. Also, I felt like the game would mess with you by changing a door location or just change something small when I looked away and looked back. In terms of the changes with the house, on your second playthrough, more doors will be unlocked and little differences will start to come up, like the bathroom mirror for example, and paintings. There is what looks like veins popping up through the house, adding to that human body aspect of the house, which will continue to progress. Things look to be glitching too, and the tapes cut in and out a bit as well, even with the text messing up. We started with the house pretty normal to what we know. Each play will slowly turn what we know into more of a nightmare, in time to the point where we don't even recognize it, which goes into the third play. The house is really starting to go insane. Body horror all over the place, the tapes make no sense, things are really glitching out. What really got me is this one room with a cassette player, which you can play in your second run and it'll be a girl singing. You play it on your third run and get what seems to be a girl screaming. Seems really horrible. And to be honest, by the third play, I had mostly come to the realization that nothing was going to happen to me while getting tapes. And so I felt less tense going through. In saying that though, I did still feel very uncomfortable playing. But I'll get into all that later on. But that screaming definitely shocked my senses. You'll get to the last tape for the third play and be told to go into the basement. Once there, the voice from the tapes comes out to tell you how much of a pain in the ass you've been, and the house will start to grow teeth and eat you.
Because the truth is this. When a house is both hungry and awake, every room becomes a mouth.
Then you pop up into a random location. From what I've seen, you can go to multiple different locations. For me, I could only explore just a location with trees and a pond in the middle. But you just need to exit out the game with these locations and go back in. Which brings us to our fourth play. We are in the belly of the house, it seems. In the environment you can see multiple different items throughout, as well as the noises are really pitched. Exploring, you find a tape and you get your ending.
It may grow bitter. It may grow hungry. So hungry and so bitter that its scruples dissolve and its doors unlock themselves. While a house may hunger, it cannot starve. And so, in fever and anger and loneliness, it may simply lie in wait. Doors open, shades drawn, hallways empty, hungry.
What I took from this game story-wise is that you have a house that was built and in time abandoned. That house became bitter and lonely from no love being put into it. The house became angry and left its doors unlocked at all times to whoever goes inside. The house will consume whoever enters. There's plenty of things to take away from this game, like symbolism with the art and small meanings that I have not seen and I fully understand yet. Seems like there's a bit that can be picked up from multiple playthroughs, so there's replay value there. But I do feel like once you've gone through the first two parts, you know what to expect gameplay wise, and I felt a lot less tense the rest of the experience. Those two playthroughs though, I had no idea what the game was or had in store, so I was always tense from not knowing what was ahead of me. That was fantastic. Once that wears off, you are more interested in what is happening story-wise. I'm glad I went through the game and got to play something that was a different type of horror we don't see too often. I love the aspect of taking something we all feel comfortable in and have intimate experiences in and making that thing horror. I think this game is really well put together with some amazing art design and cool visuals, great voice acting and interesting storytelling. I look forward to checking out more from Kitty Horror Show. Be sure to check out her work, link will be in the description. With that, thank you for watching.